Imagine, if you will, that you are walking down the road and you look down on the ground and you find a quarter. And this looks a little different. It looks like what you might see on your screen there. Well, that would be quite a find to pick up a silver quarter just laying on the street. But the story I'm about to tell you is much more exciting and much more wild and shocking. Wait till you hear how this story turns out. It's going to blow your mind. Let's explore! This is a very fascinating story, as reported by several media outlets. Breaking news, just as I have found it. Some of these stories were posted hours ago. The first one here we're going to look at is from the New York Post. Picked this up. An 8-year-old finds 1,800-year-old silver coin in the school's SANDBOX. What are the odds of that happening? Remarkable indeed. And this originally came from news.com from Australia. But an 8-year-old boy has unearthed an extremely rare silver coin while playing in a sandbox, dating to about 1,800 years before he was born. The young boy, who was identified only by his first name, Bjarne, or Barn, or how you, it's German, so I don't know if the B silent or Bjarne, was playing in a sandbox at his primary school in Germany when he made the incredible discovery. He rushed home to show the treasure to his family in Bremen, a city in northern Germany, upon finding it last year in August. In fact, it's right about 1 year ago. Bjarne's parents contacted authorities and archaeologists, confirmed that the coin was minted during the reign of the Roman Empire. And here's an image of the coin. We'll see if we can look at it a little bit bigger here. You can see it's heavily worn here, and they give a scale there for reference there. Most denarii that you would see are going to be a little better in condition. There are some are worn to some degree and some level. Some of them more rare and more famous than others. This one is a very famous Roman coin, silver coin, but nonetheless a fascinating thing to see here. So the story does not tell us how rare it is. It just says it's extremely rare to find any silver coin, especially in a sandbox just playing. So in that aspect of it, how do you define rare? And is it valuable? Well, the story doesn't say. But the shocking part is going to tell you what they thought it was worth here in a moment. The coin was identified as a Roman denarius, minted during the reign of Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antonius, who held the throne from 161 to 180 AD, according to a translated statement released on the 11th of August. The heavily worn coin, which weighs 2.4 grams, was minted during a time of coin deterioration, when the Roman Empire decreased the silver content in its currency as a direct result of inflation. You see what inflation does, don't you? And certainly they saw that. And when they do that, that means that they're minting more coins, so they're debasing it. And that's exactly what happened. We should learn the lessons of the Romans, for sure. But will we do that? Highly unlikely here. They're going to run its course with money printing like crazy. Still, nonetheless, there's an example of it. And so this is from what Uta Halle, which is the state archaeologist. Now, you're probably thinking before I continue the story is that, well, what do? They immediately gave it over. They handed it over to the state. And you'll see how that results in the end here. But nonetheless, it is fascinating. Before we continue, I mean, look at this coin. Even though it is debased silver, which means it may have probably, by the looks of it, it looks like it may be 50 or 40% silver. Heavily worn. In fact, some of it even looks scraped off, like maybe it might be plated or something. I don't know. But somebody could have scraped it off, and maybe it was even somehow handled by the kid. Who knows? before being handed over. But nonetheless, just think about that. What kind of hands touched this coin? Circulated coins of that era fascinate me because that's when actual commerce happened, and the vast majority of the wear would have been during that time period. To me, that's kind of remarkable to see coins like that. Although I do love to see uncirculated varieties or near uncirculated, it is quite intriguing to see circulated varieties as well too, because of the ancient hands that touched them. Pretty remarkable indeed. And by the way, those people that touch those coins, they literally have become dust back into the earth again. It's remarkable. It's just amazing how history and how time does fly by here. So Halle called the find something very special, since it is one of the few times a denarius has been discovered in the region of Bremen. So that's pretty fascinating. This is just a stock photo of a SANDBOX, which is where he played to find this thing. It's pretty neat to think about that. Bremen, unlike many parts of Germany, was never under Roman rule. It was inhabited by the Chauci, an ancient Germanic tribe that is often traded with ancient Romans, which could explain how the coin wound up being buried in the soil, according to the history blog. So that is fascinating indeed, which makes it all the more rare, at least in that region. Now, Germany at the time was a part of Germania, the overall Germania area, which is, I guess, some of it was under Roman rule, but pretty amazing indeed to see. Barjain won't be able to keep the lucky coin. This is the shocking part of the story, which I find quite unfortunate. But such fines belong to the state, per the Bremen Monument Protection Act. So this must be some local ordinance that talks about this, that says that the state's got to keep it, and that's unfortunate. And what about the compensation? Well, the state archaeologists praised him for his alertness and curiosity, and they plan to give him 2 archaeology books as a reward, according to the statement. Well, isn't that nice of them? Wow. Boy finds the coin, shows his parents in excitement. He himself doesn't keep the coin. He shows it to his family. What a great kid this is. He could have just kept the coin for himself. And he shows his parents. Of course, the parents see it, And what does he get in return? 2 archaeology books. Crazy. Halle said she hopes the denarius finds a home in the Folke Museum in Bremen, where she heads the Department of Prehistory and Early History. Well, I tell you what, to me this is unfortunate. And they don't say what the coin is worth in the comment section. They say there, but there's another article here that talks about this. 8-year-old unearths rare Roman-era silver coin in school playground. In fact, when I loaded this website, it said 9-year-old boy. Here it says 9-year-old boy. It says 8-year-old boy. So some of this is probably he was 8 years old when he found it, but he's 9 years old now. I don't know. He rushed home to show the coin his parents, and talks about the weight. They talk about the weight, but they don't say what the value of the coin is. But here's another picture of it on this site. But yeah, to me, that's a slap in the face. The kid is honest, shows his parents do the right thing. I understand there are laws in some of these European countries when you find old coins like this, and I can understand that. I've discussed this with some of my UK friends like Cybercurrent Twitcher. This happens. But there ought to be compensation, proper compensation for something like this. 2 books on archaeology is a slap in the face. And I hope that the parents at least will reward their child with something much more fitting and appropriate for such a thing. What a shocking thing that is to learn that. Disappointing and shocking as well. But there it is. Pretty amazing. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is an interesting story. I have a playlist of other videos like this about found precious metal treasures. And it's always exciting to hear stories about where they find. This one ends on a disappointing note with the lost silver, or with the kid being compensated with just 2 books. But nonetheless, let me know what your thoughts are. And I hope you will check out the playlist called Found Precious Metal Treasures for other stories like this, where these old coins and treasures are found. There was one I did about where it was found in a piano. Plenty of other places as well, too. Pretty fascinating. Hope you found the video informative, insightful, and educational. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to all of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.